Come with me as I dine at a 16-course summer tasting menu featuring ingredients that introduce or reacquaint you with local heritage ingredients native to and grown on the island of Cebu and its neighboring islands. Let's explore flavors lost and then found, and flavor pairings brought about by various influences throughout our culinary history. Welcome to Shalo. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Paulo and I am a Filipino cook based in Houston, Texas. If you like traditional and contemporary Filipino cuisine, you came to the right place. Today, I'm gonna share with you my thoughts on Shalo. It is a restaurant in Cebu City that serves progressive Cebuano cuisine through a 16-course tasting menu. To save you some time, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my thoughts about it right now. If I were to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it 100. If you want to know why I said that, stick around until the end of the video. As I mentioned, I am from Houston, Texas, but I was born and raised in Tacloban City. And I moved here in the US when I was 20 years old. My dad was born and raised in Cebu, and so we used to visit Cebu a lot growing up. I also went to college in Cebu, so the city means so much to me and my family. 2 days before I arrived in the city to visit, I learned about Shalo through one of my very good friends. Shout out to Yan Yan Tan Chua, who told me about a restaurant that highlights the flavors of Cebu. And so, I had to check it out. I'm gonna start this review with my experience booking at Shalo. After my friend told me about the restaurant, I checked their Instagram page and I couldn't find the link to book from there. Heads up, if you want to book a reservation at Shalo, you can do so by going to their website at www.shalocebu.com. Let me also preface this video by saying that I do not know anyone from the Shalo team. This video is also not sponsored by the Shalo team, and they did not tell me to film this video. And my opinion about anything that I'm gonna say moving forward is just that, my opinion. I booked my reservation for my friend and I at 9:30 p.m. the day prior, and I wasn't expecting to receive a response immediately since it was already late at night. The tasting menu was priced at 4,500 pesos per person. A couple of minutes later, I received an email with instructions to send a portion of the bill to Chef Ronald Villaveles to confirm our reservation. And so, in less than 15 minutes, I was able to confirm the reservation for the 16-course Shalo summer tasting menu called Verano Grande. According to the Shalo team, the restaurant is named after the Cebuano dialect spoken in the southeastern part of Cebu. Shalo is also the pre-colonial name of the southeastern part of the island from Carcar to Santander. In their confirmation email, their gastronomic preposition states, and I quote, that they are in a continuing journey of rediscovering our roots and identity through food and flavors native to the island of Cebu and its surrounding areas, while they aim to transform and transcend the nature of local cuisine and our dining habits. Through our modernist approach to food, we are curious to explore our taste buds, creating modernist, playful, daring, and at times irreverent dishes inspired by and at once inspiring memories, emotions, and our shared stories. I think this is really interesting because I've always believed that the best foods are inspired by memories, emotions, and shared stories, and I can really see this vision transcend to the tasting menu. Furthermore, Shalo stated that they propose a gastronomic experience designed to evolve and reconnect us with our human senses to change and challenge all notions of local food and culinary traditions and to propel a new Cebuano cuisine into the future. I was surprised when my friend and I arrived at the restaurant because the restaurant is attached to a home. And to get inside the restaurant, you literally have to go inside a typical gate found in a lot of homes in the Philippines. You are guided by one of the staff members and you have to pass through a walkway before finally arriving at the restaurant. To my surprise, we were the only people who were there, and we were told that we would be the only guests for the evening. Because that day, the restaurant was supposed to be closed for cleaning. But since I booked it late at night and they did not close the restaurant bookings, they happily accommodated us. And I'm really so glad that they did. The moment we walked in, we immediately felt welcomed and cared for. So without further ado, let's dive into the menu. First thing that was served was kinutil, which was our welcome drink and is not supposed to be part of the 16-course menu. It has an alcoholic base of vino kulafu and GSM gin. It was served hot with a lot of other flavors and herbs, but with floral notes, and I really enjoyed it. And after drinking it, I knew that this menu was going to be special and inspiring. After kinutil, we jumped straight to luto-luto sa kun. Kun means clay pot in Bisaya. Chef Ronald Villavelas himself welcomed us with the first dish in the tasting menu. The amuse bouche comes in 5 parts, and he said that we should start eating it with the goat yogurt sphere, followed by tiola itong, the one-bite crispy fried caldereta, vegetable bun, and last but not the least, the fake corn. The goat yogurt sphere explodes in your mouth, and you get this burst of cream from the yogurt and the goat, and it was perfectly balanced. The tiola itong is a Filipino soup that originated from the Tausug people of the Philippines. It is usually beef soup prepared with goat pieces cooked with lemongrass, ginger, coconut meat, which gives it a black color. But Shalo's version is made with chicken soup with lemongrass and galangal. And let me tell you, it was divine. It is my first time trying tiola itong, so I don't have a basis of comparison. But this was very well done, and it really was like a warm hug. It was followed by crispy fried caldereta, which was not stellar compared to the others. Then the vegetable bun with an eggplant filling with black bean sauce and soy sauce caviar. But then I just forgot all about it because the final section was the fake corn. And it was using locally sourced corn with a corn mousse and salted corn praline. And I can tell you that I can really eat a lot of this. This one was really good and my favorite so far in the tasting menu. Off to the second course, which was called the kamatis. Kamatis means tomato. And the story behind it is that every summer, boys in the Philippines usually undergo circumcision, and Visayans would often refer to the swelling as the kamatis. The dish is created with a tomato sphere encapsulated inside a jelly that is made from a combination of water, white wine, and almond. And it's garnished with basil, oil, and Parmesan foam. Pay attention to the greenery, and that is called sangig, which is a local basil of the Philippines. This is also the first time that I tried sangig. The third course is called merienda cappuccino plus pitindoganay. This is their take on a typical Filipino merienda, which is biscuits and coffee. The drink is served hot with peas and milk foam so that it looks like a cappuccino, and it's garnished with a pea shoot. The biscuits were also made with peas and was filled with tindoganay. And if you don't know what that is, trust me, I don't either, until the day I dined at Shalo. Tindoganay is a family of munggo and was sourced by the restaurants from the farmers of San Fernando, Cebu. This course was light and refreshing and is worthy to be called a merienda course. Next up in the menu is called Kay Nangamote Man. During the end of the school year, when kids do not perform well in school, parents usually use the phrase Kay Nangamote Man, which inspired the fourth course of the tasting menu. Kamote, which is the Filipino word for sweet potato, is highlighted in this course. Kamote is served 5 ways: dehydrated kamote, kamote parfait, kamote crabs, sweet potato skins, and sweet potato chips. This course proved that through innovation and art, you can create something cohesive and tasty, and all this came about because they were inspired by one ingredient. This was very well done. The fifth course is called tabano, fly your colors. Kites are usually an indication that summer is here in the Philippines. And because kids are flying them all the time now, they're not in school anymore. And so this dish has multiple colors and flavors. The orange is carrot puree, the yellow is mango gel, the green is avocado and pea puree, The light blue is made out of blue curacao gel, and the indigo is blueberry gel. And I forgot what the other flavors were for the red and the purple ones, but this course was served without any cutlery because they like you to enjoy it by licking the plate from the tail to the head of the kite. I burst out laughing when they told me that. This was very intentional because it was very well thought out, and this dish is inspired by kids playing in the summer. And what better way to enjoy this course than being playful, just like a kid. Although this was not my favorite dish in the menu, this was without a doubt the most fun to eat. Moving on to the sixth course in the menu, I'd say we are now moving into the savory main courses. We have a walk in the woods, texturas sa uhong, or textures of the mushroom. Chef Rod mentioned that these snails live in the branches of the trees and is called takyong with a Y in the northern part of Cebu and taklong with an L in the south part of Cebu. We were instructed to eat the snails by using a toothpick to remove the snails from the shell and dipping it in the homemade mushroom ketchup. Then you also have a chicken mushroom, a mushroom mousse, moringa sponge cake, mushroom panna cotta, and mushroom cream soup with mushroom chicharon. I found this very interesting because the mushrooms were served in a tree branch, which just adds to the overall presentation of this course. The different textures brought out the umami flavor from the mushrooms and a great follow-up from the previous fun course. The seventh course is called Ang Buntog nga Gibantog, which translates to the renowned quail. The right side of the plate is quail egg on top of the nest of edible fried noodles, and in the middle was quail terrine with smoked bacon and pistachio raisins, and on the left was quail leg. Underneath that was quail ham and quail pate, and it was served with bugnay wine reduction in the middle. And you finish it off with a drink which was quail stop consomme as a palate cleanser. The course was very well thought out and highlights the different ways you can prepare and use quail. My favorite was the quail egg because it really reminded me so much of kwek kwek. And if you haven't tried kwek kwek before, man, you're missing out. Halfway through the tasting menu is the course called Flores de Mayo. It is a homage to the flowers that are offered to the Virgin Mary during May. The first plate comes with a yellowfin tuna kinilaw with XO sauce and pickled chili over a crispy spring roll wrap and topped with santan. The second plate is marinated beetroot rose and bugnay wine over rose water foam. Both the 7th and 8th course features bugnay wine. In the 7th course, it was used as a wine reduction for the quail, and in this course, it was used to infuse its flavor to the beetroot. But it was in Shalo that I tried bugnay wine for the first time. It's sweet, acidic, tart, and sour taste that's similar to cranberries. The wine that they use in this restaurant was sourced in the northern part of Cebu. This was definitely one of my favorite courses in the tasting menu because I'm such a fan of floral flavors. But I know that this is probably not something that everyone would choose as a favorite. The 9th course is called Asa Kasagaran Masaag ang Kasag. It is a crab croquette with Kewpie mayo, miso sauce, and edible flowers that is served on top of the crab shell. Once you open the shell, you'll find the crab salad topped with apple and celery jelly. On the right side is apple sorbet. And at this point, I'm already blown away with just about all of the courses in the tasting menu. All I can say is that the seafood is fresh and the apple sorbet was a perfect choice as a palate cleanser. Then it was followed by pansat, pansit, paksit as the 10th course. It's wild prawns wrapped in miki, pansit, garnished with fried curry leaves. It's served with chili jam, coconut chutney, white wine emulsion, and finished off with shrimp curry sauce. This course reminds me so much of a Filipino party where there's usually a seafood and pancit as part of the potluck. I appreciate this and its modern take on familiar flavors. Number 11 is called Ang Kinabuhi Murag Beach. Cebu is well known for its great beaches and this course highlights that. I have to say that this was one of the courses where my jaw dropped. The dish features edible sand made of salted crackers and sea foam that was made with clam juice, lemongrass, and onion. It also has marinated seaweed, mussels served with clam sauce, and black vinegar caviar. And if I remember correctly, this was also fried mussels. Again, this course is very well thought out, and it was such an experience. I mean, who would have thought to create a course that looks like a beach because you were inspired by the beaches of Cebu? This course was a masterpiece and hands down one of my favorites in the tasting menu. The 12th course is called Summer Campfire. And no, it's not about s'mores. This is Chef Ron's interpretation of sugba. On the right side of the plate, you have grilled pork with pickled and spring onions, as well as chicken inasal topped with pork skins. What's interesting about it is on the left side, something looks like charcoal, but it's actually edible. It's made out of beetroot, edible achas, and burnt spring onions served with blackened garlic puree, homemade banana ketchup, and toyo mansi emulsion. What I like most about this course is the surprise that was brought by the smoked edible charcoal. And the placement of this course is also very intentional. When I used to live in Cebu, a typical Sunday hangout with my friends would be a day spent in Mactan, doing island hopping, eating sinugba, inasal, puso, and we would buy the seafood that fishermen sell in canoes. And most of the time, we buy uni. Now we're moving on to desserts, and with this course number 13, it's called Ice Block, Binignit nga di init. And on that note, let me just segue that if you want my recipe for binignit, you can find it in one of my videos. I'll link it in the description below. Holy Week is observed in the summertime in the Philippines, and you know what Filipinos love to eat during this time? You guessed it, it's binignit. What Shalo did was create binignit in a traditional way. They froze it and turned it into an ice drop. It was topped with fried sago and jackfruit marinated with lemons. This was interesting because I've always thought of binignit as hot halo-halo, and this popsicle tasted just like that. Halo-halo in a popsicle. This was innovative and intentional, but to be honest, this was not one of my favorite courses. Not because it wasn't well made, because it was. It's just that all of the other courses were absolute genius that I was blown away. And by blown away, I meant course number 14, which is Carambola sa Scramble. Scramble is one of my favorite street foods in the Philippines as a kid, and it's usually shaved ice with food coloring, sprinkles, and marshmallows. But let me tell you, it makes a really bad day into a good one. It's comfort food for me. And in Shalo, it's a riot of different flavors, and instead of shaved ice, they made granitas. What? One was made with bugnay wine, another was made with coconut, a third granita was made with a combination of basil, lemon, and iba, a native mulberry granita, and a fifth one that was made with utot-utot, which is a native passion fruit of the Philippines. If you're Filipino and you grew up in the Philippines like me, did you know that we have our own mulberry and passion fruit? Because I didn't. And this was such an eye-opener for me. The granitas were topped with sweetened condensed ice cream and a leaf tuile. This dessert just brought me back to my childhood, and it brought me so much joy. I think this is one of the powers of food, its ability to evoke emotions and memories. And this course did just that. Course number 15 is named Ang Kanta sa Sampaguita. Just when I thought they couldn't possibly top course number 14, they gave me this. Islandang biscuit with sampaguita mousse and sampaguita jam with flowers and butterfly tuile. And on the left was sampaguita ice cream with landang crumbs. This dessert was very floral, and it reminds me so much of rose and elderflower. But having to smell sampaguita and taste it is a unique culinary experience for me. If you like floral flavors just like me, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like this course as well. And finally, to round course number 16, we have Ang Tanaman sa Tag-Init. My jaw dropped when Chef Ron was bringing this course to our table. It was an edible tree made out of chocolate and cotton candy. Underneath the tree was grass made out of pistachio sponge cake, white chocolate and dark chocolate soil, and edible stones made of mango. There's also this one piece of fruit that fell off the tree, which is white chocolate with calamansi and coated with lomboy. It's a fruit that we eat a lot in Visayas and it's typically paired with rock salt. I remember as a kid, we would put lomboy inside a glass container and we would put some salt, a little bit of sugar, and we shake it, we let it bruise, and within a couple of minutes, you have a snack. This was so awesome. I can't even tell you more about it. This was the dish that I really didn't want to eat just because it was so beautiful. I also understand why this was the last course in the tasting menu. This course represents a lot of things. The artistry, the skill, the selection of flavor profiles, and the nostalgia that I think Chef Ron wants to convey to his diners. This is Shalo. And because we had a welcome drink, we were also given a post-meal treat. It's a course called sungkaan, which was peanut brittle and munggo masi served on top of one of the beloved traditional Filipino games, sungka. It was a playful twist on flavors that was already familiar to the Cebuano palate. And that's it, guys! This is the end of my dining experience at Shalo. The Verano Grande, which is Shalo's summer tasting menu, is inspired by Chef Ron's personal summer stories. And the reason I give it a rating of 100 over 10 is a combination of a lot of things. First is the price. I know that it is a privilege to be able to pay 4,500 pesos per person for a meal, and that not a lot of people will not be able to be willing to pay this much for dinner. But I have to tell you that for me personally, it was worth every penny. Obviously, it is not a place you would want to go on an ordinary day, but if you're looking for a place to celebrate a milestone or something special to you, I highly recommend it. Second, the hospitality. All of the staff were very attentive, fun, and welcoming. A lot of people would find places like this to be condescending, but the staff at Shalo were all professional and kind. You really would feel at home immediately. Third, technique. All of the staff of the Shalo team were not only knowledgeable when it comes to the ingredients in the course they were presenting, but you can also tell how proud they were introducing it. Fourth, it was personal. Like I said, the menu was inspired by Chef Ron's personal summer stories, but it was so relatable that his stories were also reflected in me and a lot of the other Filipinos. I hope that I was able to convey that enough in this video. And so I'm gonna go ahead and close this video with this statement. If the Michelin Guide ever end up in the Philippines, this restaurant deserves 3 stars because Shalo has exceptional cuisine worth a special journey. I know I'm just a foodie and I'm not a chef or a professional critic, and my words may not mean anything to you, but I really feel that way about Shalo. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment why you like this video, and subscribe to my channel. This community recently became 2,000 strong, and it means the world to me if you stick around for more videos just like this. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!